I'm Chad Yakobson with Stave, and I'm here with your craft beer and brewing tip of the week. One of the fascinating things about Brettanomyces is its ability to create de novo synthesis. When looking at hops, we're talking about biotransformation. Saison being one of the highest hopped beers in Belgium, and it's neat to think about that from a traditional standpoint, but also to think about how it was hopped. So it was really important that a lot of these hops came into the kettle and were used in the boil. In the 1800s, it would have been different brewing technology than we have now. Now we're looking at these 60-minute, 90-minute boils. We get a higher efficiency within the hops. So trying to look at how our brew houses work and line that up with how brewers are brewing historic farmhouse saisons is often interesting and also divergent. One of the things that we can start to do that's a more modern take is look at hops and understanding some of the biotransformation, looking at what hops could be really interesting. Historically, you can think about the hops who would have been mostly noble hops. Noble hops have amazing aromas. Being able to continue to use those and play with that's really, really important. We tend to, at Stave, stick with noble varieties, lower alpha acids, so there's a lot more hops going in. That means a lot more plant material. A lot of times in a beer, you're trying to limit the amount of plant material that's going in there because of the possibility of other compounds, other flavors being produced. In a saison, that creates a unique opportunity. We're thinking about how's Brettanomyces playing around with these hops and what are these hops lending. So we are starting to look at newer varieties of even American grown, lower alpha acid, that might have noble-esque type aromas. And we're really wondering how those are playing around in the beer. There's no one way of doing it, and it's something where, again, these beers lend so much creativity to the brewer. When building the recipes, I really do break out how much hops are being used for bittering and how much hops are being used for aroma. Traditionally, there was a lot more that went in for bittering than for aroma. Because there were noble hops and because of the alpha acids, that was a lot of hop material that was being used. We like that, and we like being able to get that hop material in. I personally like trying to get it even later into the kettle and into the boil. Using various aroma hops later in the kettle are going to leave those compounds in there for possible biotransformation with Brettanomyces yeast. I would say throughout the years, I've tried a lot of different hops. From my perspective, there was some interest in some of the newer German varieties, some of the Mandarina Bavaria, Hallertau Blanc, even Huell Melon. They had a fascinating alpha acid range. We could use them for bittering. We could also use them for the aroma. Also some of the newer American hops. Adeena is one that's pretty neat. We've also used Loral, but also you could play around with Citra, Amarillo from New Zealand, Motueka, even Cascade from New Zealand. The big takeaway is going to be how you load up the bitterness and how you load up the aroma in the kettle. So that will be important for hop selection. To me, it wouldn't be ideal to use a hop that has a high IBU because I'm going to be using a very little amount. And again, we want to get that plant material in it. That's where I love noble hops. I love those nice aromatics that you get from them, and I think they still continue to lend themselves very well to farmhouse ales, to saisons, and even to other wild beers. If you want to learn more about brewing farmhouse-style beers with Brettanomyces, click the link below.